BT, somehow the Jets went from Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson a year ago to being worse this year with Aaron Rodgers and Jeff Ulbrich. They are an embarrassment. I don't know how you continue to do it as a Jets fan.
I don't know either, but I know that I'm not doing it the way I once was. I mean, they're chipping away at me as well. And when you start chipping away at me, who's going to kind of ride this thing to the end? I don't know where to go. It's never going to change until the owner sells the team. Woody Johnson is the connection to this ineptitude. He's the worst owner in the NFL. He absolutely stinks. Joe Douglas should be fired. Every single coach should be fired. Aaron Rodgers should be told, there's the door, didn't work out, you're not playing here next year, get lost. And I'm at the point now, whether it's Sauce Gardner, whether it's Garrett Wilson, who was really good yesterday, whether it's Tucker, if anybody even has an appetite for him because he's always hurt, Jermaine Johnson coming off the injury, Will McDonald. The trade deadline is November 5th, and I am dead serious when I say I'm not giving these players away. I would trade anybody, and I would trade multiple good young players. Start over.
Right, but why would you have Joe Douglas be making those decisions? Look, this is why I was trying to say 4 years with this team. A team that was talked about being a Super Bowl team, a playoff team, a division-winning team, without actually doing anything. And then it just became, get Dalvin Cook last year and get this guy. And then, Devontae Adams going to fix everything. And, firing Robert Saleh, it can't be any worse. Wrong. Every move they made, they've gotten worse. Firing Saleh was the worst thing they could have done at that particular time. Ulbrich is in over his head. So now you want to trade everybody, which, I get in theory why you'd want to do that. But in reality, do you really want Joe Douglas making those moves? This is an organization that, they had seen what this team was a couple of weeks ago, which wasn't a good team, thought it was a good idea to go get Devontae Adams. They already traded some draft picks for Devontae Adams, who I said wasn't going to help this team. They stink. They're not one player away, 2 players away. It's a disaster, and they're in too deep. I mean, the Jets are screwed. This is think about it, BT. They're worse now with a healthy Aaron Rodgers than they were a year ago. How the hell is that even possible?
And they're worse in terms of the record, and they're not even remotely at the base level of competence for the most basic operational stuff. I've been watching football 40 years. I promise you, I have never seen a team call 3 timeouts in the first quarter. Yesterday's first quarter had 3 timeouts, had 4 penalties, and had a missed point after attempt. And by the way, despite all the mistakes that they made for the first 3 hours just about on yesterday, twice, 2 times, not once, twice, the Jets defense had a chance to stop the quarterback and win the game. And it wasn't Elway or Montana or Brady or Marino or Peyton or any other star. It was Jacoby Brissett, and they could not contain him. They suck. I swear to God, Sal, they are a disgrace. And I'm at the top of the mountain, and my voice is going right to Woody. Because right now, there's no more targets to hit. There's nobody else to hit. Like Ulbrich, I feel badly for the guy. Put in an unwinnable position. Now he's forced to think about everything. Now the defense is getting worse. The other coaches aren't even waste my time. Not even worth my time to scream about Hackett or Downing. I'm not even wasting my time there. It is the owner. Woody Johnson is a colossal failure and a colossal embarrassment. Period. Conversation over. Until he's gone, they will not win and sustain nothing except this circus. That's what they'll maintain. So when they decide, and you know what? I've never said this. I've never said this in my life when it comes to sports teams. Because I've always said, Sal, I'm not going to tell you guys how to spend your money. I don't know what's in your pocket. I don't know what you can afford. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm this close to telling people, stop going to MetLife Stadium. Don't even go. What are you going for? The more that you go, the more it emboldens Woody to continue to own the team because he's making money. It's not the failed quarterbacks or the spike or the butt fumble. It's the owner. Period.
The one thing I would say, BT, is the owner has tried. And the owner,
he's not good enough.
The owner built.
Hey, I tried in math. I still sucked. I brought home C's. Hey, Dad, I tried.
Yeah,
Guess what? Dad wasn't happy with that.
But there's a lot of owners that don't even try in
Don't
sports.
care.
He's not one of them.
Yeah, I don't care.
Also, he's given the fans exactly what they've wanted. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers, whether it was letting Joe Douglas stay and make these draft picks and make these trades, whether it's bringing in Devontae Adams, like all the different stuff, firing Saleh, Woody gave everybody what they wanted.
Yep.
Now, he doesn't know how to build a team.
That's
from the
why I
ground
want
up.
him gone.
Understood. But all those other moves, like he kept just, okay, well, you want the quarterback? Here's the quarterback. You want Devontae Adams? Here's Devontae Adams. You want Robert Saleh fired? Here he is fired. Now, it's gotten worse. So he made the wrong decision, obviously. And also, we can yell and scream about all we want. He's not selling the team. Like, I used to say this the same thing to Met fans before
Did you really think the Wilpons were going to sell the team?
No, I didn't, but it's almost foolish. Like, there's got to be a better solution to fix it than just saying,
I don't know.
Going to sell the team.
Well, there might be, but if somebody can identify...
Well, how about hiring Harbaugh, as we said a year ago?
Well, but I'm talking about now, moving forward. Oh, no, you and I both said that. So right now, I agree... And the conversation is already shifting to who's coach and who's the GM next year. I get that. And I'll engage in that. But I don't think there's a perfect situation because I don't know of an accomplished head coach who's already won in the league, preferably an offensive one, so that maybe, Vrabel, who's good, but he's defense. An offensive coach who's already won, who already has synergy with an established general manager that are both out there to be hired. Like, I know that there's steps before selling the team. I'm just going for the heart of the matter. Yeah. I'm done dancing. I'm done taking the long route, circumventing. I'm going right to the problem, and it's the owner.
Understood, but the defense was the one who gave up that drive.
Defense is soft, weak, awful, just didn't get it done,
Okay,
period.
right, but the defense was talked about as some great defense. They couldn't stop. Like, even if they won that game,
I know.
It still wasn't good enough because of the way that they played.
I agree with that.
The fact that they actually lost and gave up a touchdown drive, no less, to a backup quarterback, to a team that can't catch the football, can't score points. The Patriots are one of the worst teams. Like, that's on the defense. The fact that the kicker is still here, that can't kick, that we talked about this for weeks. How is he still here? So the organization wants to make Robert Saleh culpable, but not hold the kicker accountable. Mm-hmm. That's on Joe Douglas. Like, I could blame the quarterback, the wide receivers, the offensive line, the defense, the in over his head interim head coach, shouldn't be a coach, the owner, Joe Douglas, general manager, like
so basically everything.
It's everything, but it's not. To me, I don't.
Is that all?
It's
everything. You're not wrong. Keep going.
This is a foundational issue.
Correct.
That the New York Jets have had for years. Yeah. And I almost blame everybody else in the media, too, for putting this team up on a pedestal without seeing them earn one bit of it.
Yeah.
This is not the Giants from 2022 that, at least if you believe in Dable, there's a reason for it. They did something. However minimal it may be, 1 year in the postseason, okay, fine. The Jets didn't do bleep. Haven't done bleep. And yet they were talked about national pundits, talking about, the Jets, and look at the roster, all that stuff. So it's all of it just hasn't worked. And then even after that, Devontae Adams is going to work out and this is going to work. No, you just saw, even in a game where most people thought there was no way in hell they would lose yesterday. And what happened? They lose. It shows you that it's not talent. So a part of me says you can't blame the owner because he did bring in the talent that was there.
He spent money. I've always said that about him.
That's what I mean. Like,
he spent money.
If I'm the owner, I'm like, what do you want to do? Yeah. You wanted the quarterback, I get you the quarterback. Yeah. You want the head coach fired, I fire the head coach. You want the star wide receiver, I get you the star receiver. It's now his biggest issue is not hiring the right people, but it shows you how important it is to build a foundation as opposed to just star, talent. Mm-hmm. You need to build an actual team. The New York Jets are not it.
Sal, there was a sequence when Drake May was still on the field yesterday, right, where the Jets, for some reason, and they did a good job talking about this during the game, they would send 3 pass rushers to the left of the center. Okay, so if you're watching the TV screen, it's to the right. Obviously, if you're on the line of scrimmage, it's to the left. So 3 guys going left of center, which means there's 1 guy to contain on the right side, which is where Drake May kept running. There was no adjustments. Yeah, we with the Jets, we always get into the big issues because that's what it always comes down to. But the minutia within the game was so embarrassingly bad. The inability to stop Jacoby Brissett, multiple drives back to back, 9 plays, 10 plays, 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. This is Jacoby Brissett that we're talking about, and Sal, and I'm sitting there. It's funny too because you were on it. You were on the fan, and I was doing my Unkillable pod right after the game. And for most of the day, I'm sitting there saying, "All right, I'm going to probably start the podcast this way. It feels like a loss, but they won." Like that was my mindset, right? And then when I actually started the podcast, I literally, you guys can check it out. I laughed for like 13 seconds straight. They lost to the Patriots. Like every conversation we've had about the Jets, given this disgusting start, it was always, I mean, as we push this week upon getting to this past week, well, hey, once you beat the Patriots, if you can find a way to beat the Texans on Thursday, quick week at home, blah, 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 maybe you can piece together a season. But anything about a season of relevance was always worked in, baked in with the guarantee of beating the Patriots. And just as they are at their lowest point, their worst point, we still can't. They still ended our season.
It's unbelievable.
It's Al. It is insane, man.
It is unbelievable in some ways. In some ways, it's not, BT,
Jets,
because it is a broken football team.
Yep.
And
that's a broken franchise.
It has, well, I mean,
everything top to bottom.
And it has been that. It has been that all year. And we just didn't want to, some of us didn't want to believe what we were seeing. And I get it. Like, they were still big favorites over the Patriots, but they're a broken football team. And if you mess around, you're going to get caught. And that's what happened yesterday. I mean, even I thought that they could lose that game. It's still shocking the way that it played out.
How about the way Sauce got burned during that?
He stinks. He's so overrated.
I'll tell you, Sauce has had an awful season. And I know we'll get these calls here, but we said a lot. We ranted and raved. It's cathartic. We'll get you through. We'll get to the Yankees in a bit. I stand by everything I said. But the one thing that I really stand by is I am at least on a surface level exploring which young pieces I can trade. If somebody wants to give me a 1 or multiple 2s or a 1 and a 2, and I'm talking about for their best players, I'm all ears.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Jeff is calling from the Bronx. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, guys. Appreciate taking the call. How you guys doing?
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
Good. So I want to talk BT off the ledge right here. So if you guys can give me a minute, listen. You complain about Woody, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine being a Dallas Cowboys fan, having Jerry Jones as your owner, having Jerry Jones as your GM, landing a helicopter on your field, paying Dak Prescott endless amounts of money to throw interceptions.
Well, I mean, Jeff, you have to understand my wife is a Dallas girl. And she is a Cowboys fan. So I live through it on Sundays with her.
The brutal household you got going today.
And the Yankees are down 0-2 as well. I mean, I understand what you mean, like big picture in terms of delivering results. Dallas, they haven't won since 96, but at least Dallas has a beautiful stadium. At least most years, they're going to give you 10 or 11 wins. Now, they'll choke when it matters in the postseason, but
they're in the playoffs every year.
They're in the playoffs, and it's just a different, like the Jets are in the outhouse. Dallas is still, for some reason, in a penthouse that they have no reason, no real reason to reside in. It's more about their history. No, the Jets' history is without parallel. I think it is the most torturous, sickening, sad existence that you could possibly have. And I think I'd rather be an Arizona Cardinals fan than the Jets. Forget about Dallas. I mean, I think I'll even take Carolina.
You could pick any team.
Carolina could draft another quarterback this year. They're going to win 1 or 2 games.
You could pick any team you'd rather
be.
And just to dismiss the Cowboys, like, this is not about the Cowboys, but you take their success. Their failures are so different than the Jets. Like, they haven't gotten over the hump to a Super Bowl. The Jets can't have a winning season. They can't have a winning season, and you're talking Super Bowl and division and playoffs. Good God, they're not going to win 8 games this year. Everybody and their mother had the Jets over 9.5. They'd be lucky if they win that many games.
You know what sucks? And they're not going to bench him, so let's not just talk stupid here. Rodgers, if he's healthy, he's going to start. He can't come back next year, and they won't have the stones to do it.
I mean, that'll be a whole different story.
I know. I'm just planting the seeds, and I don't want him back. You got to move on.
Tino's in Staten Island. What's up, Tino?
What's up, boys?
Hey.
How are you? Same old, guys. It's BT. I'm sorry. I love you both. We saw each other at ARCA, but I have to disagree with you.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not Woody's fault. He put the product on the field. The guys are just not executing. The talent is there. You have superstar players, great players at almost every position. It's not Woody's fault to go on the field and play. He did what we wanted at all of Jet fans to get us a quarterback. He got us a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's just not working, BT.
Yeah, but hold on, Tino,
Hold
on, buddy. I know we all know it's not working, and it doesn't seem like it's going to work anytime soon. But I know, and I also know what you mean about the players. I get that. Hey, listen, players go out there, make some plays, Tino. But for me, to completely disregard Woody's decision to start with a rookie head coach in Robert Saleh, it all goes back, guys, and a rookie quarterback in Zach, and a young like a coordinator who was unproven, all the elements that no other team would do, because there's nothing about that equation that shouts success. So that, and then you keep Joe Douglas around. You probably should have fired Saleh after the season. You didn't, which means during the season you got to do something impulsive. Like, I understand Woody spends money, and I'm not trying to be like I appreciate that. I really do. Donald Sterling didn't spend all those years. Like, there are owners who just aren't good like Woody, but there are owners who at least try like Woody, and I believe Woody cares, but there's just nothing cohesive about the franchise. Everywhere you look, 40-year-old quarterback, a weird head coach quarterback, and it goes back to even Idzik, McCann. Like, it's forever, man. Who's owned the team? Woody.
Right, but you also believed, and I'm not saying you, people believed in this team this year.
I definitely did, Sal.
Okay, so my point is that the owner then, this year at least, and I get why he's the problem. Like, it's very simple what needs to happen. It's very simple. He needs to fire everybody and hire somebody that's actually had success as a program builder. The way that Parcells took over for the Jets, the way that Jim Harbaugh is, that's what the Jets have been. Not only do they need now, they have needed that for years. Move that aside for a second.
Yep.
He gave the Jet fans a star quarterback who many people believed in. He gave the Jets a roster that many people believed in. Even when they were down, he fired the head coach, which many people wanted. He brought in Devontae Adams. Like, to me, yes, Woody is to blame for one thing, and that's not bringing in a program builder, a known commodity as a head coach. But that's been a story for many years. That, to me, is not the reason why this team has failed this year.
Well, to me, his inability to surround himself with, football people who have league contacts. I've talked about this, league-wide contacts. Like, this is a systemic issue with the New York Jets. And, you talk about the success that many of us thought that the Jets would have, which is true. I thought the Jets would be good, very good this year.
A lot of people did.
No, I wasn't alone. Yeah. I mean, Vegas was leading the charge.
Right.
But what was I saying? So anytime we talked about the Jets leading up to the season, I always said, if the Jets win, they'll win in spite of
Robert Saleh.
Okay, so by bringing Robert Saleh back, which they did, and at the end of the day, the buck stops with Woody. That's a Woody thing. Mm-hmm. When I would say that to Sal, hey, the Jets will have success this year in spite of Robert Saleh, that was me telling you that I still, while I thought they would be good, I still, even going in, had these massive reservations. The guy that I didn't trust was fired, right, wrong, or indifferent. He didn't win at all, and he's gone. So, even when it seemed positive, it still wasn't perfect, because I was telling people that if they win, they're going to win despite the presence of the coach.
Right.
Who says that about a team that they think is going to be good?
Right, understood, which is why I couldn't let that get in my way, saying I don't believe in his coach.
Smarter than me then. Good for you, really.
But it's not just that.
Good for you. Good read.
It's not just that. It's about the foundation. Same thing with Devontae Adams. Like, did we really think a wide receiver was going to fix all the Jets' problems? The 3 timeouts in the first quarter, the delay of game penalties, the stupid,
on a 2-point conversion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, think of all the defense that can't get a big stop to save their life.
Yep.
Against
Penalties
Jacoby Brissett.
again.
Like, it's a total mess. Now, you said unkillable famously last year. This year, I say unwatchable. There is one thing I think that they could do that at least makes them watchable and entertaining. And I'm not going to say it would save their season, but it's their best shot at saving a season.
I can't wait to hear this.
Where they've already gone all in. I alluded to it yesterday when I was on the air. We'll get to that when we come back and continue with the calls as well. 888-808-1019. Also, Yankees will have World Series tickets, Game 4 to give away today.